In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 strategies that I use for a hypothetical retirement couple to bring their retirement plan confidence from about a 7 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10. These are 3 common strategies that I call sort of the low-hanging fruit as it relates to enhancing your retirement income plan. To illustrate this, I'm going to walk through my financial planning software. We're going to introduce our hypothetical retirement couple, Johnny and Janey YouTube. We're going to talk about their plan. And then one by one, I'm going to layer in these strategies to show you the power that these can have to enhancing your retirement income plan. And if we haven't met yet, my name is Mark Walhout. I run an investment advisory and financial planning business called Walhout Financial. I help people with retirement, and I created this channel to share ideas and concepts that I'm using to help people with retirement every single day. If you want to get more videos like these, consider subscribing to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I'm very quick to answer questions, and your questions help me with ideas for future videos. So I certainly appreciate any questions or comments that you have to share. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up using the like button below. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to talk about Johnny and Janey YouTube's financial plan. So to start with, we have Johnny and Janey. They're both age 61. They plan to retire this summer, and their current incomes are on $100,000 per year. Saved up in retirement accounts, they have just over $1 million split up between RRSPs and tax-free savings accounts, plus a joint non-registered account. They expect to get Canada Pension Plan and Old Age Security. They have no other private pensions. They own their home. They've indicated that they prefer not to downsize. We're going to talk about downsizing a little bit in the course of the video. And they've budgeted what they expect they're going to need their monthly after-tax incomes to be in retirement, and they estimated that amount to be at around $6,500 per month, adjusted for inflation for the rest of their lives. So they're 61 now. They're going to be 62 when they retire. We expect they're going to live to age 95. So they come to their financial planner with this situation, and they say, how are we doing, and what enhancements can we make to this plan? So let's go over to the reports section. We're going to talk about how they're doing today. So what you can see here is their net worth through time. This light blue bar at the bottom is their home, and the blue bars at the top and the orange and the yellow bars are their retirement accounts, split up between registered, tax-free savings accounts and non-registered accounts. And as you can see, as they enter that 3rd decade of retirement, their retirement assets are projected to run out. They still own their home, so if they wanted to continue to maintain their lifestyle, they'd be in a situation where they need to now borrow against this home equity or potentially downsize their home. And for the moment, we're going to assume that our hypothetical couple doesn't want to do that. They went to their planner and said, you know what, we love our home. We don't love the idea of having any type of reverse mortgage or line of credit against the home in retirement. So if at all possible, we'd love to come up with strategies that will allow us to avoid that strategy or that progression, borrowing against the home, potentially downsizing. So now let's look at their retirement paycheck. And I think that this is, to me, the most useful way to look at a retirement income plan, because this is sort of how we think about retirement, is how are we going to generate money entering our bank account so that we can pay our bills, we can do our leisure activities. How is that going to look? Where is that income going to come from through time? And before I talk about the enhancements, I'm just going to sort of plant some of the seeds for where I'm going to take these ideas through this video. But I'll give you a few other assumptions or baseline assumptions that Johnny and Janey came to their planner with when they brought this plan forward. So the first one was that they plan to take Canada Pension Plan as soon as they retire. So they're eligible to collect Canada Pension Plan as early as age 60. They have to take a reduced amount if they take it before age 65. There is a benefit to deferring beyond age 65. But for the moment, their assumption walking in the door was, we would like to take Canada Pension Plan right away. And their thinking was, we'd like to enjoy that benefit. We think that taking that benefit might reduce the amount of burden that we put on our financial portfolio. And we just like the idea of having that steady income stream coming in as soon as we retire. So their first assumption walking into the planner's office was that they were going to take Canada Pension Plan right away. The second thing that they were thinking was they really hate the idea of paying income taxes. So their plan for the early part of their retirement was to take all of their investment withdrawals from their tax-free savings account and their non-registered account, where there is some unrealized capital gains. But when comparing those two sources from making withdrawals from their RRSPs, which are fully taxed as income, they thought, hey, let's push that tax burden down the road as far as possible. We think that intuitively that's going to help with the health of our long-term retirement plan. And the third assumption that they walked in the door with, or third condition, I guess, is that our sample couple, Johnny and Janey, were clients of one of the big 5 banks for many, many years. They had a branch advisor who recommended mutual funds to them and didn't provide a lot of other assistance to them. They're currently paying very high fees for their actively managed mutual funds. They're paying about around 2.35% per year, just in investment fees for their portfolio. So this is sort of the groundwork that I'm laying, and I'm sort of planting some seeds for what some of these strategies are going to look like. So as things currently stand, the first part of their retirement looks okay, but once they hit that 3rd decade, you can see that there are some shortfalls that are starting to hit their plan. And so the question now is, how do we take their confidence level, take the sustainability of their plan from where it is today and increase it without forcing them to have to maybe sell their home or look at other ways to adjust their retirement plan? So the first thing that we're going to do to help Johnny and Janey is we're going to help them think a little bit differently about taxes. And we mentioned that their initial strategy was to take just from tax-free savings accounts and leave their RRSPs alone. But by maybe smoothing out those taxable RRSP withdrawals over the course of their retirement and maybe paying some tax earlier, but sort of maybe smoothing that tax ride out over a couple decades versus sort of kicking that can way down the road. Right off the top, we see a small enhancement to their retirement sustainability. And I'm just going to start triggering these strategies so you can visually see the impact. So right now, without any change to their income plan, in 2048, they start to run into shortfalls. So we're going to have Johnny and Janey take a few taxable RSP withdrawals in the early part of their retirement and maybe smooth that out over the course of that 30 years or 35 plus years. And so the first thing that you'll notice is that there's been a change. We're just seeing it load here, but we've had a small boost to their retirement sustainability. We've added a little bit more money to this sort of year in 2048. Again, not a huge difference, but you'll notice that they're taking some RSP withdrawals in their first full year of retirement and subsequent years to sort of smooth that taxable income level out throughout their 30-year retirement. So that's the first enhancement. Again, it's a small one, but it's a boost nonetheless to the retirement plan. The second strategy we're going to talk about is looking at their investment fees. So as I mentioned, they're currently a client at one of the big 5 banks in Canada. They own actively managed mutual funds in their retirement accounts. And decades of academic research and evidence tells us that over long periods of time, actively managed high-cost mutual funds dramatically underperform just simple index fund investments. So where you buy the entire market for a very, very low cost, you can get broad total market ETFs. I use funds that are very similar to broad market ETFs or total market low-cost funds that are designed to purchase all the available publicly traded securities in the entire market, maintain low cost, be super diversified. That strategy, by lowering your costs and taking an approach to your investing that's much more diversified and lower cost, can have a huge impact on retirement sustainability. In Johnny and Janey's case, it takes over 1% of fees away from their total cost of investing over the course of their 30-year retirement or 33-year retirement. So now we're going to see what that impact is. And I'm going to click the box now to reduce their investment fees. And you can see we've just made a fairly significant bump to their retirement projection. We've added a few more years of retirement withdrawals. So now we're sort of in that last stage of what can we do to further enhance this plan. So what have we done so far? We've created a little bit more tax efficiency through those first couple decades of retirement. We've reduced their investment fees. The third strategy that we're going to employ is we're going to think about deferring the collection of Canada Pension Plan. And what we mean by that is instead of taking it at age 62, which you can see here, they're taking it right away when they begin retirement. And you see the first full year of retirement, they expect to collect just under $22,000 in Canada Pension Plan. Instead, we're going to defer the collection of their Canada Pension Plan until age 70. This is going to create 2 conditions. Number one, they're going to have to withdraw more money from their retirement accounts in the early phase of retirement. This is counterintuitive. They did not want to do that when they walked in the door. But what that's going to allow their plan to do is defer that Canada Pension Plan benefit and have it be enhanced significantly and create a higher inflation-adjusted pension or inflation-adjusted annuity for them in those last couple decades of retirement. And that's going to make a huge impact to their plan. So now I'm going to go ahead and activate that strategy so you can see it show up on the visual in the chart. And you'll see that there's a huge impact to that retirement sustainability. So now this plan where we started off around that 8 to 9 years left in retirement where they're starting to see shortfalls. Now we see a successful retirement plan with those 3 enhancements. Focusing on Canada Pension Plan, recall that when they were going to begin that CPP previously next year, by deferring it out to their age 70, their first full year of CPP collection in 2032, they're going to be collecting over $48,000 in CPP benefits as compared to just over $20,000. So a huge impact to their CPP sustainability, their CPP income. And notice again that that income is going to go up every single year with inflation. So you can see the impact of the power of deferring CPP in this case. So just to quickly recap, those are the 3 strategies that we employed for Johnny and Janey. And to recap again, one was to think a little bit differently about income taxes to try to find ways to maybe smooth that income tax bill out over the 30 some odd year retirement. The second strategy was to lower investment fees, which made a huge impact on their retirement income sustainability. And then the third strategy, which was to delay taking Canada Pension Plan, increase that future benefit. Yes, it required them to take more money out of their investment portfolio early, but it created a much larger inflation-adjusted benefit through the later part of retirement. And speaking from experience working with people who are retired, having guaranteed inflation-adjusted income sources as life goes into that second, third decade of retirement, it creates simplicity, it inspires confidence, and it just makes things much simpler as far as managing your affairs, through that last phase of retirement. So I hope that this video has been helpful. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the section below. And I will speak with you soon. Take care.